Hey everybody, this is Dr. JC Doornick, aka The Dragon, and this is what I call my Monday morning focus. Let's spend 5 minutes together on Mondays together, and let's help each other leverage this day to go our way. That's the concept of this. So today's Monday morning focus is on this topic, this really cool thing called confirmation bias. And it is about how we have this tendency to validate something that we're thinking or feeling, even in the absence of anything that would support it, like facts and data. So think about that today, because this could be a game changer for you. So who am I? I'm Dr. JC Doornick, your transformation coach, otherwise known as the Dragon, host of a top 1% podcast called Rise Up with Dragon, and also co-founder of the Make Sense Academy. And that's an environment where you can thrive. So today's focus is something called confirmation bias. It refers to our brain, right? That's the biggest challenge that we have. Our brain's capacity to take something that it's thinking or feeling and seek out anything and anyone that will validate it as true. So think about how this relates to you, even in the absence of facts to support it. So take things like emotional eating. Here are the relevant things: emotional eating, smoking, drinking, or even this concept of feeling like a failure or perhaps a victim of circumstance. Maybe you're viewing this day as good or bad. Sure. There's other things entailed in that. There's addiction, there's programming from our mother, father, teacher, preacher when we were growing up. But ever notice how you'll find a way to justify the unhealthy behavior? You'll give yourself permission, like a hall pass. You'll justify that unhealthy behavior to let yourself off the hook of responsibility. Think about that for a second. If you justify something you know is not good for you, what you're doing is you're finding a way to let yourself off the hook of responsibility. That's confirmation bias. So you'll look at logic and rationale, right? We always take a little dip in there and say, is this a good idea? And we'll see that it's not. However, we'll basically just say something like, yeah, but we'll bring our but into it and confirm that our unique point of view, in fact, is valid. We'll justify it. So this is all fine and dandy until that day that you identify that you're not moving towards your goals in this structure that you're doing. So that's a key lesson today: is what is it that you're looking to accomplish, and are you moving forward? Because if you're in a structure and you're confirming it, that confirmation bias, but you're not moving forward, that's how you can catch yourself. That's a checkup from the neck up, right? So what we're going to talk about today is using reverse psychology. Confirmation bias exists whether we like it or not. Our brains think, our hearts beat. That happens on autopilot. So we're going to use some reverse psychology and leverage this in our direction. So let's focus more today on what outcome we desire in the future and attach a big why to it. We call it building your North Star, right? Find out where you want to go and attach a big why to it. And then confirmation bias will start to kind of like form itself around that, and watch how your brain will begin to cherry pick the things to confirm and validate that that is a good idea, and become obsessed, almost like you were before, obsessed with the things and people that leverage it into reality. So it's a flip of a switch. It has to do with focusing more on what you want. So perhaps this is what you needed today to just follow through, which is your biggest goal, right? If you're following our program, or you're working with me, or working with anybody else, and you're receiving this message, your only goal is to be consistent, follow through. And over time, you're going to win and not be distracted. So perhaps that's what you needed today: a flip of perspective and a refocus to what it is that you want rather than what you don't want. Make sense? So I'm always going to share a link to our free Telegram community. It's called the Make Sense Community. It's awesome. It gives you a daily inspiration and rise up, and you'll meet great people there. We're building a psychological safe haven for solution-focused people like you that seek results and are driven towards growth, and also, more important than anything, are also ready to remove the interference and distractions from their life, like this video taught you, and become the dominant force of your life. So if you're interested in that, always look in the description of these videos for that link. That'll get you in our free community, and anybody else that wants to deep dive can learn about our Make Sense Academy through there. So remember something: if you kind of like are just in this position of curiosity, and you're looking and you're feeling that rumbling in your belly, and you're ready to reclaim control of your health or get back on track, ask me about our program, ask me about our services and our community, ask us about our referral program as well. We can save people a lot of money in the realm of getting healthy. So love and appreciate you all. Have an amazing day. And this has been your Monday Morning Focus.